Hello, everyone. It's that time again. It's the last week we did the Capes and Lunatics Christmas special. This year it's the new year. Willis joined me last week. This week it's Charlie. Captain Applebee's. And joining us this time, I was hoping to get both of you, but from the Biters podcast and the good news, it's
Marnell Steiner from Alaska. I am half of the Real Housewives of Alaska. Diane could not be joining us. Unfortunately, her husband had an accident, so good vibes to him.
Oh, I was going to say Trump locked her up or something.
Yeah. Thanks, Trump.
All right. May they heal well and quickly.
Yes.
Oh, and wherever she's at, Diane, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. Unfortunately, she's spending it in an ICU with her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, hopefully, cake full of wishes to her.
Hopefully 2018 is better for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I think 2017 was getting in its last wipes, and, I blew out a tire the other day, and that was when I realized I did not actually have a spare, and, wound up having to replace both tires. Yeah, you tell it to the comic book shop guy, because he's the one that really gets hurt, because, I got that stack of floppies that ain't coming home yet, so.
Floppies. Oh, but that was going to be one of my questions, Marnell. Do you read any comics?
I don't. I haven't read comics since I was very, very, very young. And the last ones were like the Archie comics, which they're now making into Riverdale.
Hey, we have Archie fans on this podcast, so don't.
I know.
Here, I'm the tourist here. That's what it is. I'm the token girl. I don't speak geek, but I understand it fluently. So there you go.
Don't worry. We're gonna go easy on you.
Okay.
Well then, if you're not reading comics, all right. Shall we start with TV? What was some of your favorite TV this year?
So okay, I'm not only I'm very, very behind on like things like Supergirl and Arrow and The Flash and things like that, because there's just been so much amazing TV and shows lately. My cable provider's starting to suck. We are losing the CW. We lost AMC a couple years ago, so for the Biters podcast, I had to start getting my Walking Dead, Talking Dead through alternate sources. So I'm going to have to start going to alternate sources for my CW shows. But so, we all watch Hulu and Netflix now and everything. So we just finished Black Mirror. That's a good one. Season 4 just dropped on Netflix yesterday. So I was up all night binging the 6 episodes that they call a season.
I've heard so many good things about it. I keep meaning to get to that, but I have like a big list of like Netflix stuff to get to. I still haven't watched Stranger Things or Black Mirror.
Okay, that you need to do the little boo thing for that.
I know.
Yeah, Stranger Things, man. Come on, that's a classic.
Yeah. So yeah, I watched Stranger Things. Sean
Astin deserved better.
What was it? Justice for Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character, Justice for
Bob.
First
Barb, now Bob.
Bob. Yeah.
The most beloved characters. Just.
Did you guys watch Bright? That was on Netflix.
Not yet. No, that is on my to-watch list because I've actually heard good things.
Okay, so I am going to be very controversial because apparently people have not liked Bright and people are ragging on Star Wars. I liked Bright and I liked Star Wars.
I like Star Wars.
The Last Jedi. I've heard a lot of really negative reviews about it, and I have to admit there are 2 Star Wars movies that I have not seen. I cannot even remember the names of them, but like,
are they the prequels?
Yeah, they are.
People will forgive you for that.
Exactly. I was just like, okay, so this is a list of all of the shows. You can't really see them, but all the shows I am currently watching, movies that I watched this year, Netflix. I mean, yeah, I spend a lot of time watching series and movies and going to the theater. I mean, I have 2 movies planned this weekend alone and, went last week. And there's so much that you miss. I mean, I missed the last DC movie.
Justice League.
I haven't seen it yet either.
And I miss Thor. So, I know.
That's okay.
I'm holding out for Aquaman. I love me some Jason. So yeah, I do watch a ton of shows. A lot of stuff on Sci-Fi, a lot of stuff on CW, Killjoys, Dark Matter, iZombie. I mean, I'm there. So I don't have time to read. So
I know there's so much content out there. But I know what everyone can commiserate about. Big Marvel fans here, especially that guy over there. Have you watch all the Marvel stuff on Netflix, or most of it? You said, right?
Oh yeah. I'm totally caught up on that. I think I kind of paid attention through the last 2 episodes of Iron Fist, but I'm so looking forward to the next season of Jessica Jones.
Yes, Jessica Jones will be good.
Season 2 Iron Fist should be better too, because they got what's Scott Buck, a showrunner or whatever, or
they got rid of Scott Buck.
Yeah, Scott Buck, because we didn't like his other work either on Inhumans.
Inhumans, that was.
Anytime we talk about him, we say hashtag we got bucked.
I liked Powerless, and I couldn't watch the Inhumans. Think about that for a moment.
And he's a big Marvel fan. That's how bad it is.
I loved Powerless. I'm so disappointed it got canceled.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay. You two talk about that.
Oh, come on. I'm a Ron Funches fanatic. Like, I love it.
The cast was good. They just didn't give them anything to work with.
Well, they only gave them like a half season.
Yeah.
You got to build a universe if you want to, if you're going to do a show like this, you got to commit to it. It's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
You got to commit to it and build it out.
And they didn't give it a chance to get its legs. I mean, they were not even going to show the Adam. They finally dropped the Adam West episode because they were like, we're not even going to show that after Adam West died. So.
Well, anything superhero on NBC is like doomed. Anything comic book is.
I think there's actually a couple extra, because I think that was like the season finale. I think there was like 2 more episodes that just never got aired.
Yeah. That they'll come out like on DVD in 10 years or something.
I hope so. I honestly think that is my in memoriam for 2017. It's like Powerless, the show we lost. Powerless was a show we lost that I really think could have gone further. I think it could have done well.
In memoriam.
In memoriam, that was a good show, man. And it's sad that it ended. Because I really thought, I think what was great about it was the idea of humans. It's the thing you never get to see, which is humans dealing with a superpowered universe. Because the closest you ever get to see is like cops.
Yeah.
Who are just all gruff and bitter and probably almost superheroes themselves half the time.
So that's funny. I was actually just thinking, it reminds me of, did either of you ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the WB? It reminds me of Xander. He was always the one without the power. He was he wasn't a watcher. He wasn't a slayer. He wasn't a werewolf. He wasn't a witch. He was just the human dude who stood by and was kind of the comic relief about everything. And that was Powerless. It was these humans having to deal with everyone else, having these amazing abilities. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and it dealt with just like great concepts such as what actually are the insurance protocols when you live in a world with superhumans. You did get hero insurance, right? You know,
That's very true. That's funny.
you know, when it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I really liked the show. And I'm sad that it's gone. You know, I think it just needed another season, and it could have been great.
It just seemed like there was some kind of disconnect because I know originally they said they wanted that to be like the DC Universe version of like The Office, and I was like, this doesn't seem like The Office to me.
Yeah, I've actually never seen The Office, so
neither have I.
I've seen the American version.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other thing about Black Mirror is it's becoming Americanized. The first 2 seasons were British, and these last 2 seasons have been American. Season 3 of Black Mirror was pretty good. Season 4 was It's becoming sanitized for our mass consumption, and so that's when you kind of lose me. I mean, I'm not like a big indie dork or anything where like, oh, it's cool now, I don't like it, but it's becoming sanitized. So that was my gripe about Black
the
Mirror.
British
You never want to
dumb it
sanitize
down
for your
for us.
protection.
They do. There's a bunch of series that we've remade. I think Being Human was one of them, and it's kind of like they dumb it down for us. So.
Yeah, well, you know, the importing of Britcoms to the U.S. it has some great history. You have Steptoe and Son, and I forget what All in the Family was based on. But back in the 70s, that was like a very big thing. But it seems like every time they try to do it with a modern Britcom, it doesn't work well.
I love Britcom. That's an amazing word. I wrote that down to use that later.
I am surprised they still have not been able to make the IT crowd work. Because you see the IT crowd pilot on YouTube with Joel McHale. It's really good.
I don't think you could make that in the U.S. I think that's something that just would not translate well to the U.S. Like, it's just. Well,
it's an interesting thing because, I remember when they did The Office, and there was an interesting article I read about like what the issue, like when you're adapting The Office to America, that there's this cultural difference about work in America that you have in other countries, which is that Americans actually really like to work. Even if we don't like our jobs, we actually it's part of American culture that you have to work.
Yep.
And so so you could have a guy. So there was the thing is that the boss, and I forget his name, played by Steve Carell.
Mm-hmm.
He could be an idiot, but he still had to be good at his job and enjoy his job. That he had to actually show that he could actually. There was a reason he was here. It wasn't just because he was just some, idiot who failed up the ladder.
Yeah, I can see how that.
Which I think is more accepted in England.
Yeah, I can see how that wouldn't translate well to American. English to American translation.
Yes, but it did well in America, and I think they're bringing it back again. They're going to do more Office.
They want to try to.
I don't know if they're redoing the cast or they're just rebooting another Office, but I've read that.
Yeah.
Was that is that the new thing 2017 brought us? Is like trying to remake all this stuff that was popular either like in the last decade or even like in the 90s or.
I think
no, we've been remaking stuff for years.
Yeah, but it just seems like they're doing more and more lately.
Because popular. It's comic books are cool. Like it was like vampires were cool for a while, and then zombies were cool for a while, and now comic book heroes are cool for a while. So it's just the perpetuating cycle of recycling whatever was cool is 20 years ago is cool again.
Well, exactly.
Disney, and Disney continues their domination.
Well, because the reason why Disney continues their domination is because Disney invested in licensed properties, and this is both the bane and the joy of the modern pop cultural landscape. When Disney buys Star Wars, buys Marvel, buys whatever, what they're doing is they're buying that nostalgic quality that they then market out. Because when you're going to invest $200 million in a franchise, you need to know that there's an audience for it. And it's kind of this sad thing that we're not. The era of the low budget blockbuster is kind of over.
Yep.
You're not going to get another Jaws. You're not going to get or Star Wars.
One of the movies I am going to watch this weekend is Lady Bird. And that has been a juggernaut. I didn't hear anything about it until like 2 weeks ago. And one of the little theaters we have in my town, Juneau, Alaska, is it's called the Gold Town Nickelodeon. And they always play like the second run or the super indie Oscar film that, got nominated for 11 awards or whatever, but like didn't make $100 million its first weekend in the box office. So it's just this little tiny, hole in the wall theater that plays 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
And so that Lady Bird, it's going to be things like that. It's not going to be any of, the high effects movies like that. That's going to be left up to Disney.
And what you see in films like Lady Bird is that it's not a costume drama. It's driven by story and character. It's not something that is building out this cosmic universe, because you can't afford to do science fiction anymore on a low budget film, because everyone is very mean about it.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield was a major production.
Not by comparison of things that, like, Kong, Skull Island, or
but that's because they were using the found footage conceit, and the found footage conceit is it's great, but you can't do that forever. That's the Blair Witch thing, and we saw what happened with Blair Witch too.
As long as it doesn't give me a headache like Blair Witch.
Then they went to 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is they're expanding the universe, and then in 2018, another Cloverfield movie is coming out. So, I think that's kind of, but I mean, again, it's not going to be Infinity Wars or anything. It's not going to be ginormous like one of the Marvel or DC movies, but you can do it, but it isn't the same.
Well, the one superhero movie I was thinking about when you were saying that was the first Deadpool they made that for like $50 million, I think, and then they wanted to up the budget like a ton, what all any of those MCU movies or anything has, and Ryan Reynolds says no. He says, I don't want the tone to be different. I want it to be, kind of have almost the same. Yeah. Don't be giving me $200 million.
And for what it's worth, you don't know that Deadpool can bring back that $200 million.
Yeah.
This is how you know it's a Fox production. They chase their own tails. They are not.
Well, Disney has them now.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness. Disney will do well.
Is Disney going to do what I hate and sanitize our universes that we've come to know and love?
As far as they've been saying, I think at least Deadpool's staying rated R. So
it better.
Yeah, well, because Disney makes rated R films, they just have a separate imprint for it.
Right. It used to be New Line. Who is it?
Touchstone was one that they used. But yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street was New Line. That was actually under Disney, but it was under their New Line cinema. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that Disney makes R-rated movies. And actually, I was reading an interesting article, which is the suggestion that Disney should create the Marvel Knights imprint.
Yes.
So you can do a series of R-rated Marvel movies for your Punishers, your Daredevils.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Aren't they already doing that on Netflix, though, kind of?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what they're doing now. But, Disney's not doing stuff with Netflix anymore. And now they own Hulu, so they don't have to.
Exactly.
Isn't that's how the universes have split?
Well, they haven't... things that are on the small screen have always been separated from things that are on the big screen. You just get a little dribble over here and there, but they don't cross, you know? The biggest cross you had was Phil Coulson coming to regular TV. But short of Phil Coulson, it's all... Oh, by the way, Phil, did you notice that the hobo that Deadpool talks to in the latest issue of Deadpool looks a lot like Phil Coulson? I forgot to mention that on our actual...
No, I didn't. I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and look. Oh,
yeah, look at that. They basically drew Phil Coulson in there, and he says, "Oh, shut up, you hobo."
Oh,
yeah, and they go right up on his face. You can see. Oh, that's clearly drawn to be.
You called it. They weren't going to keep him dead in the comics.
No, of course not.
No.
Nobody's.
Well, it's entirely possible that Phil Coulson in the movies has a healing factor now because he's got that Kree juice in him.
Tahiti.
Tahiti. Place. Well, Tahiti is the program that reprograms your brain. That's not actually the resurrection. Project Home Base is what actually gave the resurrection. Tahiti was the rewriting of the brain that because they sent Mr. Hyde to Tahiti too, which is going to come back to bite them.
Of course.
I'm like a season behind on my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watching.
No, but you did you see with Mr. Hyde, and did you see when they sent him to Tahiti before the Secret Warriors project? Yeah.
But if you start Arrow and Supergirl current stuff, I'm off.
that would just be me, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, man. You guys talk amongst yourselves. That's fine.
Well, she said she's fine anyway.
If it's not like tomorrow, I don't know.
I'm not current, and I don't read the comics, so I'm just like.
Well, out of those CW shows, which is your favorite?
It used to be Arrow. This last season or two has kind of lost me. But
a lot of that going around.
Yeah, and I do have to say that probably Supergirl at this point is my favorite. It still feels kind of new. It still feels kind of fresh. Everything else is just kind of winding down. But I have not watched any Agent Carter, so I know. I basically I get to a point in a show where they'll do a crossover, and I'm like, crap! Now I have to watch the last two seasons of the show.
Yeah. What I'll say about Agent Carter, I really loved, but it is not as good as it could have been, and it was very much held back by corporate interests at Disney because they were because Agent Carter happened in the middle of the big feud between Disney TV and Disney theater film.
Yeah.
Now that they've sort of become friends again, I think it might get a better shot. But then we got freaking Inhumans instead of our third season of Agent Carter this week.
We got fucked
this year. So 2017 was a bad year. Yeah,
2017 was rough.
All we had good was Ragnarok. That's my statement.
Spider-Man Homecoming was good, don't you think?
God, there's another one that I missed.
But no, 2017, that was the year that was.
I didn't.
Michael Keaton as the villain is so good in that.
Oh, Michael Keaton is.
I have no idea what you just said. You guys froze.
Max
Headroom on me.
Michael Keaton and
I may be Max Headrooming on you. I don't know.
No, Michael Keaton in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Charlie.
Okay. Yeah.
Charlie's had a bit of a delay. It's like we're talking to him on the moon.
That New Jersey Wi-Fi is going out. Charlie.
Alaska Wi-Fi for the win. Charlie's frozen.
Or he's staring really intently.
So for me this year, the big superhero movies for me were Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Good. Yes.
And Logan.
Oh yeah, we had the discussion like a week or two ago. I said, that better get an Oscar for something.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. I think I cried like twice.
Mm-hmm. So. Charlie, you back?
Charlie, are you with us? No.
No.
It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Mike TV. Mom, am I coming in clear?
But I said Logan needs to get that some award. Give it to Patrick Stewart.
I'm really, really sad to see probably the last we'll see of that Wolverine.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman,
Yeah. I read something somewhere the other day about who they were trying to give Wolverine to, who turned it down, and I couldn't remember. But it was just like, I can't imagine anybody but Hugh Jackman in that role.
All right, Charlie, we're talking about Logan, but I see 2 Charlie Essers on my screen.
Oh, I don't know why there's 2 Charlie Essers. Okay. One is me with my eye patch.
Affected the cloning process, did you?
Yeah. So as far as Hugh Jackman, I can imagine a lot of people in the Wolverine role. First off, I'd love to have a shorter guy in the role. That's just me. Because Wolverine's short, and that's a very important part of his character. Yes, he is shorter than Captain America, Tristan. Captain America is 6'2". Logan is 5'8". I remember
he memorized that Marvel
from my
handbook to the Marvel Universe back in the day.
That's kind of impressive.
That's all you ever need to know, man. The handbook to the Marvel Universe. Yeah, but Hugh Jackman was a great Wolverine, but he's not even my first Wolverine. And I remember when Wolverine had an Australian accent. He was cool.
What?
Yeah, wait, what?
In the first time that
Charlie from
the X-Men appeared on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, he had an Australian accent.
Cartoon, yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, because no one knew how to do a Canadian accent at that point.
When I was a young
three
child.
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, I remember Spider-Man.
So no one knew.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, I love you very much, Tristan.
His son / our producer.
This is city life, man. We live in these small apartments. Everyone's in everyone's business. It's
hey, forget about it.
It's okay, Tristan. But yeah. But no, so like, who could play? Who I actually thought would actually make a really good Wolverine?
Who?
He actually may be too old now too. Who's the guy who played Bullseye in Daredevil?
Oh, Colin Farrell.
Yeah, it's Colin.
Remember the Daredevil film?
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
Have I frozen on you guys? Are you guys frozen on me?
No, can you hear us?
You guys
Colin Farrell.
So.
Colin Farrell.
Nah. My connection is just so bad today.
See, Alaska's freezing and his Wi-Fi is freezing. It's like -7 degrees right now.
Colin.
Testing.
It's not Colin. Is it Colin Farrell?
Yes.
I believe so. I always want to call. Want to call him Colin Firth.
I thought he'd be good. He's actually a relatively short guy, but he's very ripped, and he certainly can do the berserker bit. I thought he'd be really good.
If we're going short, why not Tom Cruise?
No. Colin Firth is the nice guy, Brit.
Oh, bite your tongue, Phil.
This Colin is the drunken, surly Australian Colin.
I knew I was gonna get somebody with Tom Cruise.
I hate Tom Cruise. I'm sorry.
I have no love for him. Go ahead.
Scientology, you're fine. All hail Xenu. But Tom Cruise, you're awful. You ruined the Mummy franchise.
No, Tom Cruise would be an awful Wolverine.
I know. I just thought short, and that's the first name popped in my head.
There are 2 Tom Cruise movies that I like. Legend. Tim Curry is the devil. Unicorns.
Okay.
Back in the 80s. Great movie. And The Last Samurai. Those are my 2 Tom Cruise movies. I hate Top Gun. Hate Risky Business. None of those. Don't like any of the whatever the Mission Impossible movies were. Nope. Jeremy Renner couldn't even save Mission Impossible movies.
Not even when Tom Cruise does his own stunts, like hanging onto an airplane.
Yeah.
Desperate. Hang it up, old man.
Yeah, no, keep doing it. He almost died last time. Take
I
the
know.
hint.
Like, get it. I'm surprised they let him do that. I mean, you'd think they were like the insurance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie, you still with us? Nope.
He just stared off his face.
It's just Phil and I talking about Tom Cruise.
No, we love Tom Cruise.
2017.
All right. What else? We bashed Tom Cruise.
You know what we were doing a year ago right now?
What?
Mourning Princess Leia's.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was like a year ago yesterday, day before. Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, you said you liked Last Jedi, right? Because Charlie didn't see it yet. I liked it.
The spacewalk did kind of take me out of the movie for a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, that whole family's connected to the Force,
Yeah, it was a little much.
And if you're gonna do it, it's gonna be when you're about to die. It's like,
yeah. But other than that, yeah, I thought the movie was great. I really a lot of people are bashing Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, and I like him.
Yeah.
He's totally believable. Fun fact, he is the cloned son of Alan Rickman and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, really?
Seriously, face merge those two. Like, Adam Driver is the cloned son of Keanu Reeves and Alan Rickman.
You're like, science will prove me right.
Yeah. Like, it's just, I was looking at pictures of him last night because I was reading an article and I was like, he really looks like Keanu Reeves. And then I looked at another picture and I'm like, he really looks like Alan Rickman. So I'm convinced that they just took their DNA and cloned and made Adam Driver.
But I'm just, I don't know, people just amaze me because I've been reading where, like, this part where What's-Her-Face takes the ship and jumps the light speed and takes it.
Yes.
I guess people have been complaining in the theaters. Are like, the sound's not working. It's like, no, dummy, it's space and it's for dramatic effect.
Right, and AMC hung a sign that actually said there is a point in this movie where, for dramatic effect, the sound cuts out, but the movie continues. It's part of the movie. Chill out. My only negativity on that scene was there no autopilot? I mean, they were just running the ship out of gas. Why did she need to stay behind to pilot the ship?
I don't know.
That scene. Welcome back, Charlie.
Charlie's partying. Charlie.
Am I back?
I don't know. Are you?
I see you.
Physically, you were there, but you were here with us. Charlie.
I'm trying, man.
Come back from the light.
It's giving me all kinds of problems, man. I don't know why my Wi-Fi. Of course, it might be all the kids on the Wi-Fi. I have no idea.
Caroline, stay away from the light. I can see myself huge on his screen and a reflection in his glasses, and it's freaking me out.
I'm sorry, I am blind.
I've seen myself before.
Yeah.
Myself as a twinkle in Charlie Esser's eye.
If you can see yourself, you're too close. Okay. All
right.
No, it's good for everyone to see what you see. There we are. I got my bar back. I'm here.
Took him a while. Took him a while, but the old guy got his bar up. Woo!
Yeah,
We talked about the Star Wars movie while you were out.
Yeah.
That's okay. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so from Star Wars to Star Trek, did you guys watch Discovery?
I watched that first episode they had on network TV, but after the paywall, I'm not paying for a whole service.
I watched the good Star Trek show that's out called The Orville.
Yes! Yeah!
Oh yeah,
basically there's a good Star Trek called The Orville, which is free. Why wouldn't I watch? Why would I pay to watch? I don't know, maybe bad Star Trek. I have no idea if it's good or bad.
Okay.
I have no interest.
As someone who has watched all of Star Trek Discovery, I can tell you that when it started out, the first couple of I liked episode 1. The episode 2 that it was after the paywall, it was like they were it was their pilot, but they split it into 2 episodes and split it up.
Mhm.
Huge mistake. I went, what the hell? This is not my start. By the way, can I swear on this podcast?
No, we're on Southgate, remember?
Okay.
I think
So-
hell's okay.
Okay, hell is okay.
Yeah, I say Hellstrom all the time. So
So after that, I was like, this is not the Star Trek that I'm used to. I'm a TNG girl. I love my Star Trek, The Next Generation. All of the others I'm kind of meh on. But as it went on, it got better. Like it's not too bad, but it's no Orville.
That's
Like-
right.
yeah.
Orville's our jam.
Yeah, and although that just actually raised an interesting point to me. When they're doing all these prequels and whatnot, so they rebooted their Star Trek universe.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to do a new Star Trek, why don't they do a Star Trek set in the TNG universe, but then the TNG universe that has evolved from the current Abrams Star Trek universe?
Yeah, but I wonder if they're saving that for future movies, though.
Definitely, yeah. They have
They're
to.
probably like, you can't play with that. We might want to do that 10 years down the road or something.
Yeah, but first off, it's one company. They all gotta be on the same page. This was Marvel's problem when they were having the separated studios.
Well, as we say,
You can't do that. You're gonna ruin your product.
look at the DC.
Which is why Disney, quite frankly, eventually put a big old stop to that.
Look at like
Because they were like, you know what? If you two kids are gonna fight, we're gonna pick a favorite.
look at the
Disney
DC.
is not your parents. They're gonna pick a favorite. They're like, we like you.
But
You go somewhere else.
Even with all that, Marvel's basically one unified universe, TV and movies. I mean, look at the DC mess. The TV's one universe, the movies are another universe.
And that's the way you get away with it, is you have basically parallel universes and different timelines.
Yeah, but
you know what the problem with it is, though, is that they that the movies put restrictions on the TV universe. So we're not going to get a Batman and Arrow.
Yeah, and like
although somehow we did get a Superman in Supergirl. I have no idea how they pulled that off, except for the fact that they said it makes no sense for Supergirl to exist without a Superman.
I mean, we had Deathstroke and Arrow, then he was out, and then he showed up this season for like 1 or 2 episodes, and now they're saying again they can't have Deathstroke because I guess he's going to be in the movies again. So it's just...
Okay, so being a non-comic book girl, I have to say, but isn't this what the comic book writers all went through? Is they changed hands and they changed writers and they had different timelines and different
but it's like
crossover.
If you want your different universes and everything, fine. But like the whole DC thing, it's like, oh well, if they want somebody if the movies want somebody, we can't put them on those TV shows. I mean, the only ones Flash is basically, and like you were saying, Superman are about the only ones they've got away with that with.
But they didn't cross over the TV Flash to the movies.
No, they should have, though.
They should have, yeah. No, the problem... Here's the thing. So, and to give the comic book corollary. So, at Marvel, you had what-if stories. At DC, you had what are called imaginary stories. But they basically... So you could have... If you had an alternate universe, you could do whatever you wanted in it. And if you had a main universe, there would be restrictions as to what character you could use. Because someone could say, no, you can't use Captain America this week. We're doing something with him. We've got stuff we're doing with him. You can't have him. And that's fine. A separated universe, and you say, and you can't have this character. It's like, what is the point, It hurts the entire concept. But, that's DC for you. They don't have a unified idea. They don't know what they're doing. They're creating a third universe for Black Lightning because apparently you can't have African-American superheroes in the Arrowverse. Except for Wally.
Well, no. Well, Lil said, I don't know if the people who created Black Lightning, the Black Lightning show, don't want to be in the Arrowverse, so...
Yeah, but of course, that might have been
after the Flash.
It might have been like Buck saying, "We don't want to cross over with Agents of Shield."
Yeah.
And then by the end, we're like, we'd really love to have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on our show. It would be cool. It would be cool.
See, this
Yeah,
is why
no,
it's so
that ship
hard.
sailed.
This is why it's so hard to be a tourist in the comic book world of geekdom, is because there are so many different crossover characters, different timelines, different universes, and you have to pay attention to everything or nothing.
Well, you can talk about what you know, and we'll all be idiots. So that's fine too, Because on The Walking Dead, this happened. I'm like, I know there's a baseball bat in one episode with barbed wire on it. That's a thing, right?
More than one episode.
And Batman's dad's in it. Yeah, Batman's dad's in it. He's got the why did you say that name?
That's why I want a Flashpoint movie where they do that alternate timeline universe, because in the comics, it was, instead of Bruce Wayne, his dad was Batman. So if they do it, who they had Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman. So if they do a Flashpoint movie, we're getting a Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We might get a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman.
That would be amazing. That needs to happen.
That would be awesome. But only if they get the Gotham Penguin to play Penguin. And people forget that Penguin is part of that story. Penguin is his major domo. He's the guy running the criminal empire that essentially funds the Batman.
Yeah, and in that timeline, they were like running a casino, or a chain of casinos. Yeah. They're basically, he's honestly, because apparently Wayne Industries with Mr. Wayne at the head isn't quite so successful. I guess that's what we're supposed to take away from that. That apparently Wayne Tech is not this major. Well, honestly, a 13-year-old boy made it into the. He's all depressed because in that timeline it was Bruce who was killed, not his parents, and his mother went insane and became that universe's Joker.
Yeah.
Well, in this universe, we have all the tax cuts that Wayne Industries is about to get as the 1%ers, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, well.
Don't get him.
Wayne Industries. Yeah. They're the leading sellers of orphans for meat, as we've discussed many times on this show.
The Waynes.
You don't make that kind of money doing good works. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
At least Stark is honest. I sell weapons. I sell bombs. I sell repulsor ray technology.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Which is something we found out in, I'm sorry to spoil this for you, Charlie, but something we find out in Star Wars is the fat cats get fatter by selling the weapons to both sides.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah.
That's the, I forget which rule of acquisition it is, but it's one of the many rules of acquisition, that is what. The Ferengi are brilliant because they're the most peace-loving, the most amenable creatures in all of the galaxy, because they just want to make money. And if you want to buy something, they're going to sell it to you.
Peace doesn't make
money.
And
they don't morally sense you, they just want the money.
All they want is money and ear rubs.
Well, and not for nothing, having a little bit of money makes ear rubs a little more common.
Hey, we can't swear on this show, but we can talk about ear rubs. I thought this was supposed to be PG, Phil.
I said ear.
I know.
Marnell, if you want to,
PG is parental guidance.
Marnell, if you want to swear, just let me know, so and I can believe it.
I could have sworn.
But
I've been wanting to swear.
The Ferengi. Honestly, this is what I've always said. If they really want to do a new Star Trek series, they should explore maybe life that isn't human. Like, what is it like on a Ferengi freighter? What is it like on a Klingon bird of prey?
Yeah, that would be a really good point. We're very narcissistic in that we think that there's going to be all the captains are human and all of the Starfleet are crewed by 90% humans. Well,
because Starfleet is a human organization. So they really are 90% human. Because you see that the Vulcans have their own ships and the Klingons have their own ships.
That's very true. Maybe we should expand our universe and start like doing a show on a Vulcan ship or a Klingon ship or a Ferengi ship, or
That's the thing. I don't care who it is. All I want is like something set in that present of like, Next Generation, DS9, Voyager. I want something in that present, and like I don't care about the politics. I want the time anomalies. I want
See, and
so you know what? You want to hear my pitch for the Ferengi series?
What?
Okay, so the idea is you have this female Ferengi who isn't technically allowed to own business, but because she's the only offspring of her very wealthy
drive a ship,
father, she has access to wealth, but she needs a male to finance. And the idea is she finds a couple of stringers to basically take her off Ferenginar so they can go make their fortunes. And I had this great idea that if you're rich enough as a female on Ferenginar, you still can't wear clothes, but you can hire servants to walk around with veils around you. So in the first time you see her, she's got like these 4 like big bodyguards standing next to her that have these like silken veils, so that she is covered, but that she isn't technically wearing clothes. Because of course, if you're rich, there's always a workaround. So, and of course, once they're on the ship and they're off-world, then she can wear clothes.
So
and then it becomes this idea of these, Ferengi dealing with trying to work out how to man.
So it's a female Ferengi with like 2 guys,
the stars are made of that
as the front. So it's like what would you call this show? 2 guys, a girl, and a hollow suite.
Well, it's 2 guys, a female, and her 4 bodyguards, who are probably of a gender-neutral race. Because why not? They're gender-neutral, man. It's like, because if you're going to hire people to carry your silken veils everywhere you go, you probably want people that are going to be gender-neutral,
All right.
Or some 4th gender or 5th gender.
Do you have an idea of who you'd like to see as the female Ferengi lead?
Oh, as an actress? Oh, well, I imagine this is a TV show. And, I'd want to go with an unknown.
Okay.
No.
Kristen
Bell?
Actually, who would be good for it? Because you need someone that's short enough to play a Ferengi.
Kristen Bell.
And actually, who would be great is the woman who plays Bernadette on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my. You need to pitch.
And you guys
have
both frozen on me again.
Sorry.
Or I've frozen on you. One or the other.
Well, that is the show I would watch with the chick Bernadette as a Ferengi woman.
Bazinga.
And that's like a CBS property,
okay,
right?
I'm hearing some movement.
Can you see us? Charlie.
That's mean.
Charlie.
Bazinga.
Oh, that's funny.
You might have to drop out.
So, did you you didn't see Bright, did you, on Netflix?
No.
So, his pitch for the Ferengi kind of reminds me of the storyline for Bright. Bright wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but the short synopsis is magic is real. We all deal with it. There's elves and fairies and orcs and things like that. And the orcs are the bad guys and have been for like 2,000 years. And they all join an orc gang, but one guy decides not to be blooded into a gang, and he becomes a police officer. He is the first orc police officer. And there's all kinds of socio-political undertones about the evil orcs, and you kind of see it cross over with people that Americans think are evil and terrorists and bad. And so there's a lot of socio-political stuff going on, but it's kind of a fish out of water story, as far as, a Ferengi woman, being in the in business and things like that. So it's it's this orc who's a cop who is universally hated by both cops and all other orcs. It actually turned out to be a really good movie. I thought it was going to be a mini series, so I thought there was going to be like 4 like more than 1 hour episodes, and it's really just like a 2.5 hour movie, but it leaves it completely open in the end to continue on with the story. Okay. And I kind of hope that they do, but they can do it without Will Smith. I don't get me wrong, I like Will Smith, but they can do it without Will Smith. Charlie, are you back?
Apparently, I'm having such problems with my Wi-Fi today, or something.
Well, I was going to say,
actually, I'm going to need to head out anyway. But yeah, so that was my pitch.
We like it, and plus, the Star Trek CBS, right? And she's an employee of CBS. That could work.
You're an employee of CBS?
No, the girl who plays Bernadette.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, no, she'd be fantastic in that role. Mm-hmm. You know, and then you just have a couple of Ferengi, and I think it'd be great. And it's like, and it's them having to deal with the fact that they've been raised in that world where they should be the dominance over the woman, but the woman has the money, so they always have to be
a male-dominated patriarchy. I have no idea what that's like to live in.
No. But what I'm saying is, well, yeah, of course, yeah. Hey, you know what? It's ending. We've had a good run. As I've always said, the ticking time bomb under the chair of the patriarchy was that we're only 49% of the population.
The chicks shall inherit the earth.
We're surprised we made it this far. We're surprised we actually let it go this long. We're like, they're gonna figure it out eventually. Like, no, just be cool, man. Be cool. They haven't figured it out yet. Yeah,
Wrong.
6,000 years, you guys finally caught on.
We're on to you now.
Yeah.
So, Charlie, before you go, there has been an argument in my household about what movie will be bigger in 2018. So to cap the 2017 off, what movie is going to be bigger, Black Panther or Avengers Infinity War?
Well, Black Panther's in Avengers Infinity War.
Right. So Wonder Woman was also in
Okay, yeah, but
are you talking critical acclaim or just money? Or
money.
Money.
Yeah, money. Infinity War is gonna be the biggest film ever.
I disagree.
Black Panther is gonna make huge bucks at the box office.
Oh yes.
And you may see them putting in more Black Panther scenes in Infinity War before it comes out because of that.
So here's my pitch. Given the politics that are going on in the nation and some of the states that have recently been flipped because of Black people voting and turning out, I think this is going to be the year of Black Panther. 2017 was the year of Wonder Woman. It was the year of the woman. This is going to be Black Panther's year.
Oh, Black Panther is going to make billions of dollars. Don't doubt that for a second.
But I think it's going to be bigger than. I think it's going to be bigger than Avengers: Infinity War.
I don't know. People like those team up things.
But like I said, if Black Panther wasn't in Infinity War, I think you could make that argument. But I think that because Black Panther's in Infinity War, it's basically good. Basically, Infinity War becomes Black Panther 2. That if Black Panther makes enough money, they're gonna rewrite it. They're just like when they had to put to cover what's his name, Chris Evans's beard in the original Avengers to do that last credit scene. They're gonna be bringing I'm forgetting the actor's name who plays Black Panther. They're gonna be bringing him back and just we need you to do more in Infinity War. We're giving you all of Tony Stark's lines. Yeah,
I look at the last DC movie that came out and compare it to Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman did bigger because of women.
Yeah, but that's because
of DC.
That's because nobody really likes Superman and Batman in the current universe. You got to put it in context.
All right, I accept your premise.
That basically Wonder Woman was their hit. And then they put it in. Honestly, if they had made it Wonder Woman and the Justice League, it would have been great. But they had committed to a Justice League without thinking that Wonder Woman was going to be the big thing. I'm saying that Disney probably is already sensing that, they probably shot. See, Disney overshoots so they can re-edit on the fly. So they probably have like 6 scripts, and 7 of them have Black Panther as the central character, and basically, depending on how Black Panther does, that's the cut they're going to release.
You're right. I accept that because Black Panther does come out first.
Exactly.
Avengers comes out in the fall or early winter next year. So
May.
Yeah.
For
Why did you say that name?
Infinity War. Yeah, most of Marvel's big stuff they put out like that first weekend in May. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Infinity War is in May.
But Black Panther will do huge box office, and it's going to be an entire cultural touchstone, and everyone's going to be talking about it. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Infinity War is going to come and right on its coattails. And this is Tristan.
Toxic Gamer on YouTube.
Toxic Gamer, yeah. Toxic Gamer 13.
I was Toxic Gamer 13.
There is another Toxic Gamer, so you have to go to Toxic Gamer 13. That's why we have the numbers on these names. Yes, him and his brother love making YouTube videos.
No, but just like he doesn't make YouTube videos anymore.
Okay, well, so Ben plays. They do conversations as they play a game together. It's fascinating to me because like forever they're going to have this record on the internet of themselves when they were this age.
Mm-hmm.
To think about that they're making their own home movies that 20 years from now, 40 years from now, they're going to go back, and he's going to go back to Toxic Gamer 13 and see himself.
Hey, we have our record on YouTube. Your sons will be able to say, look, there was Dad.
Yeah. There was Dad, yeah.
But he was sexy in 43.
I am darn sexy. I do my own hair. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. You guys can go talk about whatever you want to.
You want to do your plug before you leave?
Oh, Happy New Year! Oh, I'm sorry. Happy Old Year. Enjoy the end of enjoy this year while it's here. This is the last 2017 we're going to have for at least 2017 more years. So enjoy 2017 for the last few years, and then 18 be merry and bright.
Plug your channel.
Oh, yeah.
Plug yourself.
If you'd like to follow me as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot, that is at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality. And, of course, always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our moms and pops once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Happy
sir.
New Year, Charlie.
Good night, guys.
I love him. He's so great, and he's never at a loss for ideas. I can throw any topic at him, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah," and just off the top of his head, just this big.
So on the last live podcast that we did, I watched a little bit of his, and I'm like, "Holy crap! This guy is just this font of knowledge." So yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, I don't like to embarrass him, but do you know? I forget how many years ago it was, but he was a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh my goodness. My sisters tried to get me on that show because I have all kinds of random stupid knowledge too that doesn't do anything for me except, I don't know, I'm good at parties and I can talk on a podcast.
Because, I mean, he didn't win $1 million, but I mean, from what he tells me, he walked away with a good bit.
That's cool. That is very cool.
Like what some people make in a year.
I always wanted to be on Supermarket Sweep.
I would be my son's hero if I was on Price is Right or something.
Did you see that guy who gamed the system and he figured out and he guessed the Showcase Showdown exactly?
I heard
on the nose.
I heard something about that. I didn't hear all the details.
There was a big investigation about him cheating, but what he did was he had just watched The Price is Right for a year, and he wrote down all of the common prizes and how much they were worth. And so when he was in the audience, and it was completely by chance, they draw your name, And he got up in the row and a product came up and he knew to the penny how much that was worth. So of course he got on stage and then on stage, he was able to win his game because he knew exactly how much stuff was. But then there was the chance at the wheel. There's no cheating that.
Yeah.
And he got to the Showcase Showdown and he was able to add up in his mind everything that, in his Showcase Showdown, and he got it to the dollar. So he won both. And yeah, but he gamed the system.
Yeah, I'd be nervous. I'd be like, oh, I'll like do it, but I'll be off by like $20. So they're not like.
But you would probably, as long as you don't go over, you would still win. And if you're within like $100 or something, you still win. Yeah. That was my morning show when I was a kid, and I stayed home sick from school.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with Bob Barker.
I remember Bob Barker.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. I think he even had the black hair when I was a kid.
Wow. You're not older than me.
By a year or two, I believe.
Okay, maybe. You may have a better memory than I do.
I won't throw out your age, but yeah, I believe I heard Diane say your age, so.
I'm 38.
Okay. Well, in April I'm gonna be 40, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, statistically speaking, the more birthdays you have, the older you get.
I heard that somewhere.
And the longer you live.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm totally not sensitive about my age. So
science. I'm too. As I approach 40 in a couple months, I'm totally sensitive about my age.
Nah. Wait till you get to 42, and then they give you the answer to life and the universe and all of it.
Charlie, I think, is 43, and I don't think they gave him that answer. But no, since he's not here, since he doesn't watch like Walking Dead or Preacher, is there like any news of Preacher's next season?
There will be a next season.
I know, but have they let anything out about it? No.
Nope. As far as we know, they are still filming in New Orleans, so I don't think there's going to be much movement physically in the show. Mm-hmm. Even though we're supposed to be on a quest for God. And in the comic books, it takes place all over. So I don't know how they're going to continue to do that. But yes, there is a season 3. No word on season 4. I don't know if there's going to be a season 4. But, I haven't heard about any other big AMC shows that are set to come out to maybe replace it or anything. So
yeah, as long as there's more Hair Star.
More Hair Star. Oh no, I love my Cassidy.
I know. I listen to the podcast.
Yep.
Tulip and Cassidy. I know.
Tulip and Cassidy.
And Walking Dead, I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's killing it, but I mean, they have to kill him off eventually, right? Because I'm sure he comes at a pretty penny, I'm sure.
Exactly. And so for Walking Dead comic book fans that have not gotten this far in the comic books, spoiler alert, he doesn't die in the comic books. They keep him prisoner.
He's still there.
Don't think that is going to happen. I don't think you're going to continue to have Jeffrey Dean Morgan languishing away in the basement of somebody's house. So he has to die. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is.
And there's still people now on the internet that are like, oh no, Carl's not going to die. Maybe it wasn't a walker who bit him. I'm like,
we saw it.
Well, they're like, oh, what if it's like those or was it the Whispers? The ones who like dress up like zombies. They're like, what if one of them bit him?
Yeah, no, Carl's dead. Carl is Schrodinger's Carl. He's both alive and dead until you watch the next episode. But you probably have listened to the podcast, the last one for the last episode. My theory is that because we did not have Daryl in the comic books, and Carl is still alive in the comic books, that Daryl is going to pick up a lot of Carl's storylines in on the show from the comic books. So, Carl's dead. I mean, the kid's, going to do other things. He's got his DJing work, and he may or may not go to college. So
he's not hiding under a dumpster.
no dumpsters. Nope. So, yep. But we have kind of a little bit of a side bet going on about how long we think The Walking Dead will go. It's in season 8. We're on our mid-season break right now. I think 2 more seasons. I think we will get through season 10, and that will be it.
I don't know. I think as long as the ratings are there and the money train is there, they're gonna try to drag that out as long as they. It might go beyond 10.
Okay, so I will still be watching Beyond 10. I would love to see it go beyond 10, but the fan in me doesn't want to see them drag it out until ratings drops and they jump a shark, and so I'll be happy with 10 seasons. If they go longer, that's great, but hopefully they don't drag it out and make it awful.
All right, well, if it ends at 10, say, I mean, the comic book's still going. Do you want, like, an ending, like a TV ending, or do you want it to just be like, oh, we're just going to keep going on,
Nope, I want it to be kind of like a hopeful, like, so that in 5 years they can reboot it with new people. Because they're gonna. I mean,
but what about that horrible possibility that they end Walking Dead, but Fear the Walking Dead goes on?
Like I said, as long as they make what's her name, the bad guy, I really hope that we see
Madison.
Madison, thank you. I did all of this research for all this other geekdom. I didn't expect to talk about my own show.
I was going to say, you should know that, though.
Well, it is Fear the Walking Dead, so I think people will forgive me. I really hope that they are bringing Madison through to be an Negan, to be the bad guy in somebody else's universe, So that, I think that would be my saving grace with that series. And I really think that it'll either end before Walking Dead Prime or at the same time.
It needs to.
Yeah. Put the nail in the coffin.
I can't believe they sent Morgan over there.
I am still baffled as to how that is going to function, because there's going to have to be a time jump.
There has to be, because what?
A massive time jump.
Because what? I mean, if it's in the past, he traveled over there and then he traveled back?
Yeah, and didn't talk about his time on the West Coast,
I mean, I can buy that, but I mean, just the travel time, I'm like, what? As long as he jumped on a plane.
There's a helicopter.
The magic helicopter.
The magic helicopter. Yeah. So, and that, I think that was part of one of my predictions, was that that's how Morgan leaves, is in a helicopter. Our mysterious helicopter. But yeah. So I'm interested in what's going to happen in Fear the Walking Dead with Morgan, but I'm really disappointed for Morgan's character. Like, I'm happy over here and I'm disappointed over here. So
when they made that announcement on Talking Dead, I mean, he didn't even look that thrilled. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be over there."
Yep. So this is where I'm gonna be now.
Oh, I'm off the good show.
I ticked off a showrunner. See you later. But yeah.
All I know is I'm gunning for Chris Hardwick's job.
I really like
that job. He has 20 of them, but
right. I miss At Midnight though. But there is was it his joke? I think it was on the Nerdist podcast. He talked about how it needs to like all be Chris's dream. Like the very last episode of The Walking Dead is Chris's dream, and he wakes up, Chris Hardwick, and he wakes up that all of this was his dream, that there was this Walking Dead show and he had a Talking Dead show. That would be hilarious. But no, that'll never happen. That would be awful, but it would be funny.
Well, that's what I always said. The cruel ending would be, the end of Walking Dead would be Rick waking up and it was his dream.
Yeah, that would be totally going the route of Dallas, and we can't do that.
It'd be like, oh my, how horrible would that be, though? It'd be like, you dream the death of your wife, and now you dream the death of your son. It's just like...
And probably the death of Judith, who is not really your daughter, but
But hey, you can't prove it in the zombie apocalypse.
well,
Well, right now you can't.
well, no, and he can't prove it, but I'm actually rewatching the series right now. We were doing a preparation to do more episodes during the hiatus. So I'm rewatching. I'm in season 2, and there is a point where Rick is like, "It's Shane's, right?" And Lori's like,
I don't know.
"I don't know, but a woman knows it's Shane." Yeah. So, all of us know. We just don't like to talk about it.
We'll just see when she gets old enough if she says Coral.
Well, and that's the other thing that bugged people this season is, Maggie's not even showing yet, and Judith is like, 10.
Well, isn't that the thing with TV? Usually, that like when you have like babies, they age them up pretty quick. So they're like, "Oh,
right."
Deal with this baby for."
I think there's been 7 or 8 sets of twins because, of course, there's time constraints of working with children on set.
Mm-hmm.
So they employ twins so that one kid times out on how much time how much they can work, and so it's like Full House. We all kind of learned that with the show Full House, that's why they have twins. And so they've been through like 7 or 8 sets of twins at this point. So, I'm sure that's got to get expensive. And she doesn't get a lot of screen time anyway. So it would not shock me to see Rick lose his whole family in the next season or 2.
Because it kind of confused me on the season finale. Did they just like drop Judith in the middle of the woods?
Yeah, I don't think we really saw her. She may have been huddled in with some of the stunned people in the.
It was like 2 seconds. I thought they handed her to somebody, but they were like, I don't know if they were right outside the walls or a little further away, but it seemed like they were like in the middle of the woods, which I guess makes sense because Alexandria got hit then. But
yeah, but the thing that kills me is the sewers were how they were. You get in and out of Alexandria. Why is everyone just hanging out? Why aren't they leaving via the sewers? Like, get away. Eventually one of the saviors is going to be like, hey, look at that giant sewer grate that's like man-sized that I'm sure would be an easy way for everyone to escape because nobody's here.
And I'm sure he's had to like been a strong kid, but Carl was moving that I think way too easily. That sewer grate.
Yeah, I think he's working off of pure adrenaline there, but now he's all slumped against a wall. So
and to your point, why are they hanging out in the sewers? Because that's like a great environment for people with wounds like Carl's and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in a world with no antibiotics and stuff. Yeah.
But of course, we're gonna have to get some sort of heroic death, so Carl has to stay nearby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's going to go out a hero. That's sort of a given. I don't think they're just going to let him expire in the sewer or anything.
Next episode, he's going to take somebody out, one of the saviors out or something.
Maybe Negan.
I don't know. Do you really think they would kill him before the season finale, though?
Okay, but they have dragged out 1 day, maybe 2, for the entire first season.
Yes.
So they could do that for the next half of this season. It could be all night.
Oh, yeah. Carl's there for the rest
of
the season.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And then we'll pick up in season 9 and Maggie still won't be showing and Judith will be like 22.
I just didn't know maybe he wasn't taking out Negan, but maybe like one of his lieutenants, the guy with the mustache or
yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think it's going to be Negan. I think I haven't heard on if Jeffrey Dean Morgan is how if he's because they have to be shooting next season pretty quickly here. So I haven't heard if he's on set, if he's contracted for season 9 or what's going on with that. But Carl is the catalyst that gets. Spoiler alert for comic book fans, Carl is the catalyst that gets Negan caught in the books. Mm-hmm. So I think Carl is going to be the one that takes him out in the show.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move on from Walking Dead, talking over with Diane, I know, with everything that's happened, you said you might not be able to do anything over the hiatus. Yeah, talk to Diane if you're both up for it. I mean, I'll do a special or two with you if you want.
That would be cool. Yeah, unfortunately, there's really no time frame right now on her husband's recovery.
Yeah.
And I know that she had plans for 3 weeks from now that she would be away, and she's since canceled those. So she's probably going to have a lot of time at home. so maybe it'll work out that way, but so she does have a farm to run.
Yes.
Her 3 horses and 3 goats and like 10 dogs and some chickens and cats and so
Start calling her Maggie.
exactly.
Maggie came from a farm. Yes.
Yeah, but we have to tell her to stop spinning her wool, during the podcast. She does that right before. We'll talk before because we do it via Skype. She'll talk before, and I can hear her spinning it. And like, you're not going to do that on the podcast because that's very loud. That's much louder than a barking dog. So, but
I told you last night. I was talking to Charlie. He was sitting right there in his kitchen like he was tonight, and he has a wireless headset. So he got up. He was pulling a quiche out of the oven. I was like, okay, and he's still talking. I was like, okay.
That's funny. Yeah, every once in a while I have a little black lab come up right around here, or a barking dog over here. But other than that, red room.
No, I'm usually pretty isolated. But I know the one night when my wife was still at work, my 4-year-old came in. He was like, I can't sleep.
You're like, everyone, meet my child.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah. No, I'm pretty free. I don't do much but watch a lot of TV.
But yeah, like I said, if we can make the time difference work, if you need someone to pitch it for her, I'll step up.
Yeah. That would be cool. Either this way or via Skype and the Biters podcast or something like that. Her and I have to get caught up on Preacher. I think we have 2 episodes that we still need to. Yeah. So life happens.
All right. I'll try not to keep you all day. Is there anything else on your 1 or 2 things on your list that we didn't get to that you want to?
Not really.
Right.
Unfortunately, like I said, a lot of the shows that you guys podcast about, I am very, very behind on. So like, I can't really listen to you guys and get spoiled. So you should go back and listen to the other ones. Yeah. But
Hey, one of our first episodes for this was our Guardians of the Galaxy 2 review. So go back and check out how you've seen that.
I should totally do that. That was a good movie, and we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out next year, I think, don't we?
Is it next year? Well, I know they're in Infinity War, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Because I think, that Infinity War is Avengers 3, and then I'm pretty sure that's continued because I think the year in 2019 we're getting Avengers whatever number 4 is, so because they shot them like back to back.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
They're having to do them like Hobbit movies now, where they had to shoot them all at once just in case somebody dies or gets injured or something.
So spoiler alert: expected cliffhanger on Infinity War.
Because they've already have the footage for the next one.
Because they're only like a year apart. So they're like, there's like a 2-part thing. It's like, comes cliffhanger. But yeah, Black Panther is going to be good. It's going to kill too, especially because that comes out in February. And I think someone was saying there's like no competition for it. So yeah, it's going to crush.
Yeah. You saw the trailer for it, right?
Oh, many times, yes.
Yeah, I saw it in front of Star Wars, and I thought they were not releasing it until Christmas Day, and we saw Star Wars on Christmas Eve. But so maybe I haven't seen the full one or something. But just from what I was seeing. What I saw, I was like, oh my God, like they really brought it with this movie.
Oh yeah, it looks good. Action, story, even like the soundtrack sounds great. I mean,
and of course, Michonne is in the movie.
Yes, yes.
Denai is in Black Panther.
But I mean, I think, yeah, it's going to crush. It's going to be, 2018's Wonder Woman. But like we were saying, I think Infinity War is just going to do better just because I think those group ones do better because, you're bringing everybody's fandom in because it's like, oh, do you like Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man's in here. Do you like Iron Man? Iron Man's in here.
But Justice League didn't do that, though.
That's
what I'm hanging my and like, not that I hope that that Avengers does poorly or anything. I really think Black Panther is going to blow it all out of the water next year.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, Marvel's doing it right. DC, I mean, I'm a big, huge DC Comics fan, but I mean, their movies have been like crap. And so, like, when you got a good one with Wonder Woman, that's why everyone was like, oh, Wonder Woman.
And Aquaman comes out November, December of next year. I'm so excited. I don't know why it's taking so long. Like, what is with that? We've seen so many teaser trailers and pictures from on set, and because I'm tracking this hardcore.
Yeah, well, I don't think they've had problems with that, but I know like the Flash movie they've been planning's gone through like a couple different directors and stuff, and yeah,
that never bodes well.
But yeah, I do want that Flashpoint movie with the alternate timeline so we get a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman.
That would be amazing.
Because that Batman was like, using guns and stuff. Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just imagine the comedian just dressed as Batman.
Oh my God. I always forget that he played the comedian.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. That would be amazing. The comedian is Batman.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. Next year's going to be a banner year. Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and Aquaman. And that doesn't even count things like Pacific Rim and Annihilation.
Exactly.
Pacific Rim 2. We're going to see Jumanji, the second Jumanji. There's so much good stuff out there.
For a second, I forgot about Deadpool 2. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's coming out fall. It's coming out after Avengers.
Oh, I thought it was June. I thought. I don't know. It does come after Avengers, but I thought it was like a month after Avengers. Well, either way, it's after Avengers. Because I don't know if you know this, because I thought it was June, because I think in May, I think it's on FX or FXX, one of those, they're doing like an 8-episode or 10-episode, they're doing a Deadpool animated, almost like an Adult Swim, like Deadpool cartoon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Donald Glover's producing it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like I said, I think it's FX maybe it's on, but yeah, it's going to be on, but.
Deadpool 2 comes out June 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. And Cable's in it. Cable's in it, so we could maybe have time travel.
So much good stuff.
I said that I hope they use the time travel at least a little bit. You could see like Deadpool drop in some of those other X-Men movies, and you just drop him in the Wolverine Origins. He's like, no.
And that's where they would get all the money would go to, because that's why Deadpool 1 only had 2 X-Men in it, and they were the lesser known. And they made a joke about it. And that's what I loved about like Powerless is they didn't take themselves too seriously. Deadpool doesn't take himself too seriously.
Oh yeah, that Negasonic Teenage Warhead I think has been in exactly maybe 2 comic books maybe.
But I love her character in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe she's back for the second one too. So
she is. Yep, she is. That's cool.
All right, I've kept you way long enough. Anything else?
It's like 4:30 my time. It's 8:30 your time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too late for me, but I just feel bad keeping you for like an hour and a half.
I'm going to day drink.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you got boyfriends to chop up.
Yeah, the ground is too frozen right now to bury him, so I have to take a boat and scatter him in the water like Dexter.
So Mornell, if anyone wants to be your next victim, how can they find you on social media?
You can find us on Biters, the Walking Dead podcast on Facebook. You can find us at The Good News, the Gospel According to AMC's Preacher We probably have some other places you can find us, but Diane is in charge of that, and she's not here. So, I think we even have a Twitter, and Diane's the moderator of that one. So, Biters on Twitter. So, that's where you can find me.
All right. As for me, I'm sure everyone's sick of hearing me. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter @capeslunatics. And the voicemail. Get drunk and call us. 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
Don't tempt me.
Do it! You day drinker. All right. Once again,
2017 is over.
thank you, Marnell. All right, everyone. That's been the Capes and Lunatics and Marnell from the Biters and the Good News, the Preacher podcast, which you'll hear one day. All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2018. We'll do better. And we'll say, this is the Capes and the Lunatics. And I just realized, I never realized this before, I think I just do the sound effects and I think Charlie, because since he dropped off, I don't think I've done one sound effect.
That's funny. Of course, I wait till now to have a coughing fit.
Here's the 2018.